This one comes from Rosa, and she needs help with a food bully. I've got a 17-year-old gelding, a geriatric Molly mule, and a miniature mule. Sounds like the beginning of a joke. The miniature is about 5 to 7 years old, living on, and they're all living on 6 acres. For as long as I can remember, but more so now in the winter, I'm from Virginia. My gelding has always been food aggressive towards the others, and now he's shelter aggressive. For reference, at feeding time, they all have their respective stalls to eat their grain, so they're separate, it sounds like. And they have a round bale available all winter long in the field, and they're able to access the run in the portion of the barn 24/7 for shelter from the elements. After feeding time, I actually take individual pads of hay and scatter about, hoping to entice the gelding to pick up a spot and eat his hay without being bothered or bothering others, except it doesn't work. He refuses to let the others forage their hay wherever they go. He goes to eat and trample their food. If it's especially hot, rainy, or snowy, he hogs the shelter of the barn. They are all in good weight, so I know it's not a matter of hunger. I just don't have the means right now of separating the bully. So, are there any good suggestions for correcting this bully behavior aside from separating them?
Dave, what do you think? You think he's a bully?
I don't think I mean, what okay, here's what I think.
There
So
you go. All right,
so
all
Steve
right. Dave,
Steve's testing
Dave the
me.
mule guy's gonna lay it on us. Okay.
You can I'm and I am proud to have you correct me. My first thought is number one, that just sounds like an animal. It like that just sounds like the temperament of the animal that it's going to be. My other thought was I don't think you're going to be able to train that out of them. It just seems like an animal being an animal. And then my next thought was it's not a bully. It's he's trying to establish herd leadership. He's
Yep,
trying to be the top of the pecking order,
that's right.
and the others aren't really challenging him. So those were my first three
Exactly.
thoughts: is there's nothing you can do,
No,
and yeah, there's nothing you can do. They are the way they are. You can't train it out of them, and
no,
it's a pecking order thing.
exactly. You see, I was just saying that horses or mules and donkeys are subservient to horses. That's the way it is. And that horse will become the herd leader. Here it is. Herd leader. I'm the herd leader over the feed. I'm the herd leader of the shelter. I'll tell you which way it goes. And that is the way the good Lord designed them. Okay. That's why it's important for you to be the herd leader. Okay. It's important. Now, here's the downside of this. Okay. And think about this, Dave. Keep this in your mind because this is really important. Is that you're going to have a big vet bill if you don't do something with it. Okay. Because that horse will bite and kick. Biting and kicking can result in harm, serious harm. But it's what they do because of their pecking order. So, I had a very good friend of mine, Steve Ham in Arkansas. I was visiting him here this last September when I went to American Mule and Donkey Days. And he had just had a nice horse that was crippling on three legs. The fourth one was wiggling. And I said, "What happened to your horse?" He says, "Well, I made the mistake of putting them in together, and one horse kicked the other horse and broke his leg." So it can happen like that, folks. You can very easily uh, end up with a big vet bill because you're not separating these animals at feeding time. At time, finish at dinner time or breakfast time or whenever is when they're going to be the most aggressive. Okay, and the leader of the herd, you need to make sure everyone has its own stall and close the gate. Otherwise, that leader of the herd will go and want to go back and forth getting everybody's hay, and he'll pick out the best of the hay and leave the junk to everybody else. So can you change it? No. The only way you can change it is to make sure each animal is in his individual stall and feed them accordingly.
All right, so I had done a little bit of research ahead of time on this just to see, and there were some folks who were saying, well, what about just using magnesium? Now, I don't know what magnesium would do, but it sounds like magnesium they're thinking will affect the behavior. Is that just affecting the chemical balance for a short period, or is that a solution?
No, there's no magnesium is not going to change that. Okay, uh, for instance, I take magnesium, and a lot of people should in Arizona, especially because it's drinking just water can actually poison you. Okay, and I get a lot of leg cramps and that sort of thing. And when I quit taking magnesium, or when I started taking magnesium, one of my clients up in Maine was a doctor. He's a naturopath. He said, Steve, you can eat all the bananas you want, and you can do all this stuff with potassium, but if you start taking magnesium, it'll fix it. Well, I've done that, okay? But I've yet to see any product that will change the herd leadership of an equine. The best thing I could tell you to do is put them in a corral, each animal's own corral, and you'll fix the problem, and it'll work good. But that's the only way you're going to be able to do it.
Okay, very good.